I'm Justin Marceau, and I'm a law professor at the University of Denver, and I study how law helps and hurts animals. I have always been interested in suffering, and for me, in law school, it was about human suffering. And so when I finished law school, I was focused on doing criminal defense work against mass incarceration and work against the death penalty in general. But there was this interesting thing that I realized, which was that animal law actually has a lot to do with human law. The animals that we don't care about are similar to the humans we don't care about. They're sort of forgotten by the law, just as they're forgotten by society. And there's this sort of sense of entangled empathy. If you can relate to somebody who has killed multiple people and maybe just not want them to be killed, and you want to see the good in them, you might be able to find the good in pigs or cows or chickens. And so, the path not taken was, I guess, continuing exclusively on human incarceration and human death penalty work, but it's definitely informed the way I think about animals. One of the questions that I'm interested in and that I've been exploring in my research is this connection between human suffering and animal suffering. And I read recently an account or study of human genocide by Carol Adams, and she said the genocide and the questions about how genocide happened are fundamentally questions about how to make the suffering of those that do not matter. So how do we make the suffering of persons that is irrelevant become relevant? And in large measure, my research and my focus is on thinking about how to make the suffering of animals relevant to the law. What do we do? What changes do we make? What sort of public outreach can be done to make their suffering something that matters to the everyday person? So I've been working on critiques of law and how has the law held back animals. And I want to turn now to think about what kind of law reform could be of value to the animals. We have legislation that entrenches and reifies the animals as less than us. And are there reforms that we could pursue that would be helpful in a general sense in bringing animals to the political table? Being here in Mendocino today has helped me think about the work that I'm doing in animal law in a couple of ways. First is just seeing the amount of expertise that exists. I mean, this is called people from around the world, is an exciting opportunity to collaborate. So I think that I will start collaborating with experts in other fields, and I've already started talking to them about that and those opportunities. One of the things that I found interesting was the research documenting connections between human and animal oppression. So the number of persons in the room who are engaged in research or are documenting problems of gender violence or race violence and animal suffering, that these are connected forms and not discrete types of violence. And I think by and large we tend to think of racism as a problem and sexism as a problem, and we don't so much think of animals as part of it. But increasingly the research is showing this ability to point to someone else that is other, that is lesser, contributes to things like genocide, contributes to things like factory farming. I am just inspired to take a bigger picture view of my work. I've been trying to solve certain problems through the law, and I'm increasingly aware of the fact that I have to have a wider lens and understand how that fits into problems of poverty and racism and gender, that these are not discrete problems and that they have to be solved in a holistic, comprehensive way. To me, animals are like the children of the natural world. Animals are the sort of unconditional joy. They're the emotion that's unrestrained. They give you that sense of appreciation for what is there. And I want to find a way for the law to protect them from suffering as best as it can. And to me, animals are just this symbol, like I said, of human suffering. I mean, we are capable as humans of inflicting so much suffering on other people, and animals are just another form of that. We're willing to take out our anger or our supremacy on them, and that's why I'm willing to work in this field.